Uh, yeah, I'm Thomas Firehart, and tonight, technically, I'm going to be giving my thoughts on the movie Spectre. Normally, I would call this a review, but let's face it, it's not really. It's just me giving my thoughts on it. Um, Straight out the gate, this movie lives up to Skyfall, as far as I'm concerned. That's just like again my opinion. Uh, the basic plot, because I don't really want to go through absolutely everything at once, because I want to keep this short. Knowing me, I won't. Um, well, the movie is called Spectre, so it's about Spectre. It's about their first appearance. Basically, the plot gets moving because Judi Dench's M, who died in Skyfall, has given Bond one last task to do, and basically, who he's supposed to kill leads him to Spectre. And it turns out Spectre is run by someone a character that he previously knew but had not been introduced yet. Um, Franz Oberhauser. That's it. I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but hey, I haven't studied German since like year 8, so cut me some slack. Um, and basically actually no, what I like is something that they've done that they misdirected with is that Franz Oberhauser is Blofeld. He becomes Blofeld essentially. When he faked his own death, he basically took on a new name and became Ernst Stavro Blofeld. Um, which Christoph Waltz is fucking amazing as him, by the way. And basically from there, it's Bond trying to both keep away from and take down Spectre, but he doesn't really. And then in the end, instead of killing uh, Blofeld, Bond does what I guess other characters would assume would be the right thing by not killing him. Because god damn it, he's Blofeld. He's going to show up more. Um, and on top of that, we've got a subplot which ties into the main plot later, but you don't entirely know that at first. But let's face it, we do kind of know. Um, basically, a character called oh god, what's his bloody name? Um, Max Denby, something like that. Um, is now in charge of both MI5 and MI6, who have merged together. Because basically the plot of this movie in the MI6 side is that MI6 has been considered irrelevant, and the 00 section gets shut down. Like, actually shut down. In Skyfall, they threaten to shut it down. In this movie, they actually do. Um, and by the end of the movie, it's not brought back. So, who the hell knows where we're going from here? But hey, um, basically M, Q, and Moneypenny are sort of doing their own thing at one point, and sort of like at first Moneypenny and Q are helping Bond, but then M basically tells them, or Mallory, if it's too confusing, because Judi Dench's M only just left. Basically tells him that Bond's on his own. They can't help him because otherwise, C, who is like the Max Denby guy, they basically say that, if we can track him, so can they. And they seem to be up to some shady shit, or at least C is. So, yeah. And C is trying to create something called Nine Eyes, which is a global surveillance and intelligence cooperation initiative between 9 member states. So basically a bunch of countries being given access to each other's stuff. But technically, they're doing this so they can give it to Spectre. Because it turns out that C is funded by Spectre. He's not necessarily a member of Spectre, but he is at least being funded by them. And in the end, he dies, basically. Q shuts it down, shuts down the Nine Eyes thing before it can officially launch, because at first it's pushed back because it has to be unanimous vote. And then it doesn't go through. And then it does, because they do a meeting out of nowhere and they do it. So that happens, and then he dies, and yeah, at the end, it's just kind of left pretty open. Like, as really, this, like Skyfall, this could be the last Bond movie ever, and it would work. Like, Skyfall was like, okay, new beginnings done. Like, everything is back as it was in Doctor No, kind of. We've got Moneypenny, we've got a male M. They seemed to be in the old building. And it was like, okay, it's come full circle. It could have ended there and been done, and it would be fine. But they kept going, and it was worth it. Spectre is a damn fine movie. Daniel Craig is still fucking great as James Bond. Easily one of the best of the 6 actors that have played him. Christoph Waltz as Franz slash Blofeld. Pretty fucking great. At one point, they finally give him the scar thing that Donald Pleasence's Donald Pleasence's Blofeld had. But, being the 2010s, it's a lot more practical, and they don't have to put tape over his eyeball, so to make the appliance work. So it was probably a lot less harrowing on Christoph Waltz, and they gave him like a dead eye sort of thing over the eye that's got a scar in it. So that's pretty cool as well, because it adds to that, rather than it just looking like they pulled his skin down over his eye. And yeah, Blofeld doesn't die, he just gets arrested. And I'm like, yeah, that was dumb, Bond, but at the same time, you don't want Blofeld to die in his first appearance. That's the only reason. I was like, oh god, no. Because they trick you into thinking that Bond is totally going to shoot him. And then you're like, oh, wait a minute, he might not. And then it ends up being that he doesn't. I'd actually spoiled, by the way, for myself, that Christoph Waltz turns out to be Blofeld. But I love that it's handled in such a way that people knew that was coming. I didn't really care either way. If he'd just been Franz Oberhauser, I would have been totally fine with that. But hey, it's Christoph Waltz. He'll do a pretty good Blofeld. Let's see. The funny thing is they have the cat in there, but I'm assuming the cat dies, and because at one point, Blofeld's base out in wherever the fuck it was gets blown to shit. So, it's in like North Africa somewhere, but I'm pretty sure they specify where. But in any case, that happens. Mr. White comes back, and they finally get rid of him. Basically, he's dying of something called thallium poisoning. I have no idea what it is, but it's pretty fucked up, apparently, just by a quick wiki search. Yeah, Mr. White. That's interesting though to me because Mr. White and Blofeld are now the two longest running recurring villain characters. Blofeld's been in more than one. Literally no other member of Spectre that I can recall shows up more than once, other than Blofeld, and even then it's a different actor every bloody time. I'm pretty sure. God. And Mr. White has been in 3 out of 4 Craig movies, which is interesting. But he basically kills himself for this with Bond's gun because he's dying anyway, so it's like, well, fuck it. He has to help. Bond also has to help out Mr. White's daughter and stuff, and that's a plot thing. But I don't really want to go into it too much, because I don't really want to be talking about the whole thing. But yeah, it's a bloody good movie. If you get the chance, see it. If it's already out where you are, go see it. If you like the Bond films, go fucking see it. It is very interesting. And hell, I hope you didn't really watch this if you haven't seen it yet. But yeah, it's a damn fine movie. All the actors are good. I like that the MI6 people are featured in it fucking more because let's face it, in the old stuff, Q, Moneypenny, and M are just kind of there. M shows up a bit more in like Judi Dench's M was always sort of there constantly watching over whatever shit was going on. She was always worked into the plot a lot more. Whereas, let's face it, the other M's before her were just kind of there. They'd give Bond his job to do and then fuck off for the rest of the movie. Maybe show up again at the end, but that's about it. Mallory is like an actual driving force of a subplot. And Tanner shows up a lot, which is kind of interesting because if you look back on the old stuff, because I've been doing a Bond marathon from like a couple of weeks ago, I watched all the Bond movies up till yesterday, and then today I saw Spectre. So I can tell you that this is the most consistently Tanner has ever shown up ever. Hell, he didn't even exist in some of the friggin' earlier ones, or he'd sort of drop in and out. So it's very inconsistent. The way they were talking about, by the way, there's you know how there was a thing where people were like really happy that like a woman older than the actor playing Bond was going to be a Bond girl? That woman is in it. Monica Bellucci, I think that's her name's pronounced. She's like 51 now, making her the oldest Bond girl in history. At least I think that, yeah, she's the oldest Bond girl in the franchise. And people are like, woohoo, yay! Age is just a number, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, good on her. But she's only in it for like, what, 5-10 minutes? the way people were going apeshit about it, you'd think that it was going to be that she was the Bond girl. Because let's face it, there's Bond girls, and then there's the Bond girl, who's the one that's with Bond for most of the plot. Because there's pretty much always a woman that's involved in the main plot, but it's Mr. White's daughter that is. And I'm not even going to pronounce that actress's name because it's a French name, and I would butcher the hell out of it. um, oh, that's interesting. She was in Inglorious Bastards. Who the fuck? Yeah, like the weird thing is about that actress, by the way, I swear to God, I've seen her in something. Or at least seen her before. But I have no idea what the fuck it is. Oh my God, she was Emma in Blue is the Warmest Color. That's what I fucking know her face from. The ridiculous lesbian sex movie. And the only reason I know about that is Infamous Sphere. So, yeah. Apparently that movie's god awful bullshit anyway. But yeah. Um so wow, okay, she was in Grand Budapest Hotel, so she's technically worked with two of the actors that are in this movie. Huh. That's actually quite interesting. Um anyway. Before I start rambling on even more, I'm gonna basically try to end it here. So pretty much I'm going, like, I'll put it this way, if I could afford to, I would see this movie again. But I'm saving up for stuff at the moment, and I saw this on a day that it wasn't cheap to see it. It cost me 19 bucks to get in, and I paid for my dad to get in as well. So yeah, do the math. He's paying me back, but you know. But if anything, that's a testament to how good this movie was. I paid two full price tickets for this, and I do not regret paying that much to see it. I paid for myself to get in, I paid for my dad to get in, and I don't care because this movie was fucking great. Hell, it's like Guardians of the Galaxy. I paid for myself and two other people to see that, and I fucking love that movie. And Spectre is fucking great. I'm going to see the next one in the cinema if I can manage it. This is the second that I've actually seen in the cinema. That's a James Bond movie specifically. I mean, last one was Quantum of Solace. So I didn't see Skyfall in the cinemas, which I regret. I really do regret that. But this and Quantum of Solace, I did see in the cinemas. I liked them both. The opening theme is something I haven't talked about, so I'll end on that actually. The God, excuse me a second. The theme by Sam Smith. That's his bloody name. For some reason, they keep going to call him Sam Elliott. I'm like, where the fuck am I getting Sam Elliott from? But anyway, his song for this, "The Writings on the Wall," which thank fuck they didn't call it. They didn't make a song based around Spectre. I mean, they kind of did. Which, by the way, the internet ruins you, and it made some of the opening of this movie kind of hilarious, like indirectly hilarious, because Spectre's symbol is basically an octopus, right? Well, let's just say they use that motif a lot in this intro in very I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going kind of a joke sense. And I'm not even fucking kidding. I wish I was. But holy crap. Um Jesus Christ. Oh god. Yeah, Sam Smith did a good job. I did not hear the song before I saw the movie because it was already up on YouTube, and I was like, no, I'm not going to fucking listen to this thing until I watch the damn movie. And I stuck to that. And it's a good song. It's not bad. Some places it's a bit, I don't know if this is really working or not, but I think it'll grow on me the more I listen to it. Because it is worth listening to more than once. So I'm going to listen to it a bunch of times over the next week, and then I'm actually going to be writing an article for thatrule.com listing my favorite Bond themes. So you know what? That's going to be a question, just so you actually have a reason to comment on this fucking video. What is your favorite Bond theme of all time? There are 20. Well, actually, no, there are not 24 to choose from because Dr. No uses the Bond theme. That's literally it. And From Russia with Loves is technically in the credits. But regardless of that, what is your favorite Bond theme? That's a question of the night, day, video, whatever. But anyway, with that, I will leave it there. I'm Thomas Fireheart. I will see you guys next time. Hopefully there won't be as large of a gap this time.